Crafters, it's Colette. When Couture Creations brought out this gorgeous new collection of papers called Seaside and Me, and I had a glance at just how beautiful all the papers were, I knew immediately that I wanted to do a particular card. Now, I've done this card many times and it's been a while since I've done it, but it's been around for years and years, and I love it, and it has that wow factor that I know you love as well. So let's take a little look at my card. So here we have the card itself, and this is the front, and you can see, yep, it looks lovely, and that beautiful shell is just gorgeous. I've cut that from this page, which I love. You get a couple of these pages in your paper pad, and there's just so many cards and fussy cutting opportunities with it. It's a great page to have. I'm loving it. So I decided to use part of that page as the front of my card, and you can see I've got that gorgeous shell and this little duck that I fussy cut out, so that was stuck onto the front of my card. But the actual wow factor happens on the inside. So when we open up this little card, we basically have the little fish. Isn't he cute? Super, super easy to do, and this is my version of it. And let's get started, shall we? And I'll show you how I made that particular foundation. So shuts flat, opens up beautifully, so you can see him standing proud there. And of course, on the bottom of this card, I've used that amazing branching coral die from Couture Creations, and I've fussy cut some beautiful shells from that particular paper pad. So I'm going to show you now how you can get fishy and you can make a card just like this. So let's get started. So we can be really complex with this card and do all sorts of intricate measurements, but I want us to keep it really easy because it is a real easy card to do. So I have here a C6 card from Couture Creations. The bump is here in the middle and the score line is here. So I'm just going to fold that in half with the bump in the middle, and I'm just going to fold that. So this is the outside of my card. Now what I need to do is I need to make a patterned interior for my card in my contrasting paper. So looking at my original, you can see what I've actually used here, this background one there. And the way that I do that is with a pencil. I can't be bothered to measure in 1/8 of an inch and things, so I'm simply going to mark with a pencil so that it is just slightly shorter all around than my base card, and then I'm going to cut that. So grab my paper trimmer and I'm just going to whiz that in. Find my pencil mark, where are you? There we go. The pencil mark is just here. Okay, so I'm going to just cut that one and find the other pencil mark just there and cut that. So now I've got a piece of paper that is slightly smaller all round than my actual card itself. And then what I'm going to do is fold that in half. So when you're folding in half, just line up your edges there, walk it back, give it a brief fold, and then use your bone folder to do the rest. So then when I pop that into this card here, you can see it's going to fit in there nicely, and it's just going to be slightly shorter all the way around. So what I now need to do is roughly find where the middle of this is, and it's going to be probably around about here. So I'm making a bit of a pencil mark there, and then I need to just make a measurement here to about 1.5 inches is where I'd normally go, just like that. So I've got a pencil line, 1.5 inches, and then simply just grab yourself a pair of scissors and cut along that. So this is my score line. I've done 1.5 inches and I've cut 1.5 inches in along that pencil line. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to measure 1.5 inches down. So you don't have to be precise, but I'm going to use my mat as a guide. So that's 1 inch, that's 1/2 inch, And I'm just going to make a pencil mark here. This is the back of the card, so we're not going to see it, so don't worry about your pencil marks. And another one 1.5 inches above. So I've got a pencil mark 1.5 inches above and 1.5 inches below where I cut. I'm now going to grab my little scoreboard. There it is. And I am going to score. And I am going to score, let's move this in a wincy bit for you. I am going to put my bone folder on that pencil line here. Okay, and then I'm going to just lift up my little bit here, and I'm going to whisk that round so the end of my cut line is on that same marking, and then I'm just going to score. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. So my ball tool is going to hold that into my score line. I'm going to flick this up so I can see where that point is, and I want to get that point roughly in that same direction, and then I am going to score. So I'm going down quite hard and quite a few times. So when you look there, you can see exactly what I've got. This is the fold, that's my 1.5 inch cut. This is 1.5 inches down, and I've scored from here to the point, and I've done the same above, little pencil mark 1.5 inches, and I've scored from there and down. That's all we need to do for that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to open up this, and I'm going to create my little fish. So if you can see, we've got like a bit of a, it's a bit hard, a bit of a diamond kind of shape here. These center fold lines now need to come up, and they need to be mountain folds. So I'm going to fold that as a mountain, and these other ones need to be valleys. So that gets folded here as a mountain. And then these ones here as a valley, and this one here as a valley. And the same here, valley, valley. So what we've actually got is this. So when I start now to close my card, it's going to squash that in. Alright, so just to recap, the one in the middle is a mountain, and the ones on the diagonal are a valley. So once we've done that, we can now give it a nice, really firm, crisp fold. So now, when I open up my card, hello little fishy, that's my fishy. And of course, when he goes inside this card, you can see he is starting to get formed. So all I now need to do is to make him stand out a bit more and decorate him. Now what we want to do is we want to get a bit of contrast paper behind our little fish. So here's my fish. Can you see? I've got this lovely red contrasting paper inside his body, so we're going to create that. So you just need a scrap of paper. So I've got this piece here, and the way you know it's big enough is that when you fold this and kind of position it, as long as it goes beyond these tips, you're going to be fine. So this bit here, for example, measures 1, 2, 3, about 4 inches by 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 inches. It doesn't have to be that big, but it just happens to be what I've got. So I'm just going to fold that in half. Look at those gorgeous shells. They could be fussy cut. Oh, what a shame to use that paper. And then I'm going to take my wonderful, I love this is my Easy Runner Grand, and you can get these from Art Deco. They actually supply them as well, which are brilliant. They're done by 3L, and I just love to use these. So I'm just going to simply pop this down and just make sure I've got this positioned roughly where I want it. So that's about right there. Close that up. And then the same here on the other side. Now you will get paper warp. It happens, it just can't be helped, okay? So that is going to actually happen. Okay. And then we're going to just fold and then fold. Okay, so that's our center bit done. And then what we need to do is to pop this one on. So what we're going to do is we are going to put some tape all around the outside edges. Okay, and then we're going to pop a little fishy, making sure, because I've got shells here, I don't want them being upside down. So I'm just going to position this into place, roughly where I want it. That looks about right to me. And then I'm just going to close that up. And I'm going to do the same now on the other side. Now you do want to make sure that you get it around here, so you just don't put a couple of little bits. You want to make sure that's well actually done, and then you're going to just pop that down like that. Okay, so we're just now going to give that a little fold again, and when we open it up you can see that's our little fish kind of formed. Isn't he cute? Now I did cover my fish so he stood out, so let's take a little look. So you can see I have actually used this kind of chevron paper, which is in the paper pad, so all the tones are muted and they look beautiful. They go so well together. So what I did for that is I again looked at my scraps, and I think I need, yep, about a 2-inch square. So I'm going to cut a 2-inch piece of paper with my paper trimmer. I reckon that will do it. And then I'm going to cut that on the diagonal. Okay, so I end up with 2 pieces like this. And once again I'm going to fold that in half. And the same with the other piece. Fold that in half. Oops, I haven't done a good job there. Of course you could use your bones, your scoring board. That would be sensible, wouldn't it? Alright. Okay, so what I need to do now is to attach these, and I'm going to use my my little glue. These are distributed again by Couture Creations. I've used these for years and years. I love them because they never clog. Absolutely brilliant. And I just fill them up with a nice strong PVA glue, and I can just control exactly what I want. So I'm just putting a little bit of wet glue onto that, and then I'm going to position the first one just down here. Now we've already got our fold there, so we want to make sure we get that on the actual fold area. Okay, that looks good. So just holding that down for a couple of seconds, and then I'm going to do the same with this piece here as well. Position this little guy, up he goes, and on we go. Awesome. Just make sure that it's nice and secure, nice and secure. So we're going to give that a bit to dry. Now you can see our fish is actually really taking shape. Here's my original little guy. Alright, and here's this little guy here. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is, I just want to show you, let's get that back in, slip it back into place, is how I did the fins. So again, with some scraps, I cut just some, actually for these ones I just cut a 1.5 inch square, and I did this for the tails and the fins, about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And then I just found the middle, roughly, just so I knew where I was kind of working. And I grabbed my scissors. So I've got the middle here. Don't get too fussy with this, it really doesn't matter. Up, and then up to the point. So I've got this kind of a wedge shape. There's my middle marking there in the middle. And then what I did is, with my scissors, I just did different lengths of paper, like this. Okay, and then just to give it a bit of body, I just got my, I can find it, my trusty little bamboo sheet, and I just went in and just gently added a little bit of texture to each of those little strips. So looking at the sizes, I might have done the fins 1 inch, but followed the same principles, and then kind of scrunch it up a little bit. That looks quite nice. And then again, a little bit of the glue on the bottom, and then all you do is you take this and you just pop that up like that. Just adding it on into here, and that's done. Okay, so that's how I did his little tail fin. Here's my other cards, original one. So this was the 1.5 inches. These ones I just cut to 1 inch square and used the same method that I did to actually shape this one. And then I just tuck those in there. 2 little eyes to finish him off, to bring him to life as it is, and the little happy birthday sentiment in there. And then I finished the card off with some beautiful branching coral that I cut out with this absolutely brilliant die that I am so loving. This is from Couture Creations too, and it is part of that Seaside and Me collection. If you don't have it, go get it before it runs out. It is that good. And then these gorgeous little shells I've just cut from the papers in the paper pad, and they look so beautiful. So here for the bubbles, I just added some dots of Dimensional Magic. You could put some beautiful diamantes on there, etc. So with this card, I wouldn't write on the middle. I think it's far too cute inside to spoil it with my handwriting. What I would do is I would put a sentiment piece of paper on the back here, and I'd write or stamp or however leave my message here on the back. So that's my little card. Super quick and easy to make, and so much fun. Have fun with this little guy, and have fun with the Seaside and Me collection from Couture Creations as well. So for more pictures of this card, hop over to the Couture Creations blog and you can see the pictures there. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. By subscribing, you will get every new video that I release dropped into your mailbox. It doesn't cost you anything, but it's a great way that you won't miss out on my latest and next card. I've got over 85 cards now, 85 videos on my channel now, so you might want to hop on over there and take a look for some more inspiration. So thank you so much for dropping by. Until next time, my name's Colette. I will see you soon. Have some fishy fun today. Bye for now.